What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode here at Voiced Podcast. I'm your host, Charles Sabiaga. So today, we have a guest that's been making noises around, that's putting a lot of community together. He got my attention. Actually, I didn't realize he's been reaching out on my platform for a while. And when I saw that, I really respected the hustle. And I was like, and actually, Mambo was the one who mentioned it that, there was this guy who involved me to this event, putting artists together. So I was like, all right, let me check this guy out.
Shout out to Mambo, man.
Yeah,
Much
that's
love.
that's when I realized that that you're reaching out. So it's like, okay, cool, let me bring him in and see what he's talking about, because usually, some people try to collaborate, but their intentions are not there. So
Right.
I look for people who are trying to do something bigger and not just ego based. So I
Right.
really
Respect.
I really respect what you're trying to go about it, because I do see a lot of discrepancy within the artists around here. So I just
Right.
want to give you a proper introduction. So I have Anthony Alvarado here with me today. So a little background about him. He was a promoter back in 2013. He started managing artists and became a road manager and in-house events as a coordinator, traveling around the country with the artist that was on the rise, which hopefully you dive in a little bit.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And he took a step back to focus on his family, and you started AR for artists in 2018.
Yeah, I started A&R for artists.
Okay, and now he has his own company, Prominent Records, which is a record label company.
Regular label,
Okay.
here to help out the artists and just do what we can for them.
Cool. Well, welcome to the show, Anthony.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for being out here and sharing your story. What I'm excited to go about is not only his vision and as far as like what he's trying to do with artists as well. We're gonna talk a little bit about his upcoming event in December 2, Media Day, which he decided to spurs after a first successful event.
Yeah.
So I'd love to, I'm excited to share my platform, use my platform to extend that for people out there trying to create.
It's a very honor, man. I'm really honored to be
For
here.
sure, yeah, man.
Appreciate you, brother.
Just for everybody that's listening who may or may not be aware of who you are, can we get a little bit of background? How you got started in this industry?
Yeah, of course. So, like, just a little bit. I'm gonna elaborate a lot from what Charles said a little bit, but you know what I mean. I started off in 2013 out there in Santa Barbara.
Right.
I started off as a promoter, and I didn't know anything about promoting. I didn't know anything about putting together shows.
Okay.
So, I mean, that was my first challenge because I got the idea that I wanted to do shows because I was watching MTV Sweet 16.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm like, man, these guys are having like birthday parties and they're inviting all these rappers and everything. And I'm like, that's cool. That's something different. Because like where I'm from, like a lot of my friends, we celebrate our birthdays and we have like a live band out there. You know what I'm saying? Or we have the DJ playing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was like, I think it'd be cool if I did a hip hop show, just a
Nice.
concert, bring someone out to the city. And so that was a little journey to try to figure out things. But thank God to Google. That was live back then,
Yeah.
man. I was like, okay, cool. I'm not doing a Moose Lodge. I'm not doing the Boys and Girls Club. I'm doing Velvet Jones. So Velvet Jones was the music venue that was in Santa Barbara, legendary place. They've had everybody there. And, it was my first show there. And from there, I ended up seeing this whole different vision because, like I said, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I didn't know about promoting. I didn't know about what slots were. I didn't know much. But I was just like, I just want to do something for my birthday and for my friends. But then little by little, certain people were coming around and coming up and coming around this time. And it was just perfect. Things were aligning because these people had information for me.
Right.
And these people were teaching me certain things. And they were telling me, this is how you do this and this is how it goes there.
Nice.
So I started seeing everything. And then from there, like, I was like, wow, like, this is cool. This is different. Like, I didn't expect this. You know what I mean? So I was like, maybe I should do some more. And so I started doing more shows. And then I probably started doing like 20 shows a year. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Just working with different artists.
And what area was this and what year?
Santa Barbara.
Santa
all
Barbara?
in 2013.
Wow.
All the way up to about 2014 because it was actually pretty quick that I got recognized by some of these artists that I was bringing over here. Because I was working with a lot of artists that were like in the underground scene at the moment, at the time. You know what I mean? And so a lot of the people over here, they were interested in these artists and nobody was bringing them. So I was kind of like the only one to like reach out to them and be like, yo, I want to bring you out here. You know what I mean? They're all based in LA. So they were all doing a lot of shows out there. But so then from there, a couple of them actually a lot of them, they notice like, hey man, like you're doing a lot of like work with shows, you know what you're doing, and you put them good.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You
yeah.
put them well put together. So I think we should do some more stuff. I think we should maybe take it across the different cities. I think maybe we should think about other states.
Nice.
And so like I said, man, people just started coming around and aligning like this future that I was about to have with this music industry and this promoting gig. And yeah, man, I started doing shows outside of Santa Barbara, and now is a challenge too because I don't know nobody or anything out there. So how am I going to promote?
Did you consider label yourself or consider yourself a promoter or event coordinator at the time?
No,
you were just doing it because you loved it.
Yeah, and you know what was funny
cool.
is that when I went to go meet the first artist that I did the first show with, I lied to him and I told him I was a promoter already. Because like I had the vision and I had the idea and I'm like, I have to like get this guy to be my first show.
I mean, technically you were, right? You just didn't have the actual accolades in time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Damn.
I didn't have
understood
not
what you
one
were
show
doing.
yet, but I kind of understood like what I wanted to do and I'm like, yo, like what's happening? And so he's like, yeah, man, I'm down because you know at the same time he's trying to network and coordinate and get everywhere too.
Trying to grow too.
Yeah, so it ended up working out, man. And I did promoting. I did shows for about 2 years in Santa Barbara and then did some outside like in LA, San Diego. But then, like I said, sooner or later, some of these same artists, they reached out back to me and they said, hey, let's take some things and go on the road or come to the table and let's see what we can brainstorm. Let's see how we could work together and how we could just move stronger. You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, okay, cool. I'm just this kid from Santa Barbara, man. And you know what I mean? I'm not expecting like these artists to like hit me up and take me along their journey with them because, you know, I'm just over here paying them what they want to come rock. Right. You know what I mean? But it was the hard work, the consistency, and the commitment that I was putting in that they recognized because later on we had these talks and they're like, yo, the reasons why you're around or the reasons why we saw what we saw in you was because of the same ambition, the hunger. We see that, you know, you may have a vision and, you know what I mean? We just want to see like how we can collaborate and move together because it was all like-minded people that I was around and they all had the same vision and passion too for music and they also have seen themselves traveling around the world, country, whatever it was. Nice. Because I seen myself doing that too. Because I told myself, I'm like what I want out of music or what I want to achieve from this is traveling. I want music to allow me to travel. Nice. You know what I mean? Like my family and take me everywhere, do all this and that. And so I got to do that. I got to do that after probably like in 2014 all the way to 2018. Just got to travel around the country with various artists, whether it was their own tours that they were coordinating or whether I was putting together tours for other artists and just doing our own thing. So yeah, man, it's been quite a great journey, and that's just a little backstory on me and where I've came from and where I'm at now.
No, thank you for sharing. I love that because it seems like, you know, I've been through many ventures as well where you just feel so aligned with other people with similar journeys,
right? And
it's almost an addiction, you know.
Man, the dopamine start going, man. Like it's like you're just thriving in this whole like environment, and it's like it just really brought me back to my childhood when I picked up skateboarding because my whole thing with skateboarding was like I seen people go pro. I seen people travel around the country and do the damn thing like that. So those are my dreams. That's kind of like where like I first started like realizing like, wow, you could really do a lot if you really put your mind to something that you're passionate about and you love. And nobody else understood, you know what I mean, why I had like all these goals and visions for skateboarding. You know what I mean? But it's because I saw certain people from my area grow up, become pros, and do that. Yeah. So, you know, so that's kind of like where I just ended up with music. And I was like, yo, this is what's going to take me because I just feel it here. And I just knew it was my path, but I didn't know like what purpose I had yet or what reasoning. I just knew like this is where I fit. This is where I belong in music. And I'm just going to go on this path, see where it takes me, meet the people I need to meet, and do what I got to do at the end of the day. Yeah. And even though I was doing like a lot of great shit or like a lot of people were just like really motivated by what I was doing and they were telling me, you know, at the same time, I was just like, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm just doing what I have to do. You know what I mean? Because I'm in this space right now. And I don't know, it was kind of like also in a phase in my life too where I'm like, I don't know, I was just really like ambitious. I'm still ambitious, right? But it's like
For
I was
sure.
just like really ambitious because it's like something new.
Yeah, it's something new.
Like a whole
you know?
new like
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, a whole new like, palette of like flavors and things that I'm just like not used to, and like it's like, just a whole new world.
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah, especially when you get exposed to something that you're not used to, and you realize that, hey, this is something that I'm interested in, and you want to invest more into it. Right. So, kudos to that. I mean, I'm glad that you found something that really expanded your vision for yourself. And usually, it's something that we see. Seems like you were captivated by the idea of just being more free or just exploring.
Yeah, pretty much being able to be like, I can put this together and that together, and this is going to happen and take us here, take us there, and that's going to open this door and that door. Like, just knowing the possibilities of you, like, placing goals and focusing on the accomplishments and focusing on what's important, you know what I mean, what's going to fill your soul and everything, and the passion that you're doing it for. Like, those things, like, made me realize, like, what the reasons I'm here for and what we're doing it for, and, and just knowing, like, yeah, just knowing, man.
Have you always been this? It seems like you find a way to connect things and see how it fulfills your vision. Have you always been kind of like this? Had this urge to kind of go for more, or was that something you acquired seeing something that you could do that you never thought you would do in the first place?
Yeah, I think like I didn't really have it. I didn't really have that whole feeling like I have now, like, oh, I could do anything. Like, I put my mind to it and just be creative, and I could start all these different businesses and this and that, because it just all started with, like, the one simple thing that, like, when I put my mind to it, I'm going to do this, I'm going to try it, and I'm going to keep trying it until it works. And then once it worked and I proved myself that you just got to keep doing it, that's when I was like, okay, like, I just got to keep doing whatever it is I'm doing to everything it is that I put my mind to. And because I don't know, some way, somehow, like my intuition just knew, like, whatever you're gonna set yourself into, it's gonna like develop, and it's gonna be more and like widen and like you know what I'm saying. So it's
I always tell to people as well, because when you work on your goals, right? Often these are things that you see the others haven't seen because it hasn't happened yet.
Right.
But like when you work on them and you start to see results and you start to see something that is tangible, or an event that happens because of you, you start to see evidence that your dreams or goals are doable. Right. And you start to want more of that. You start to create that, and you create that confidence within yourself.
Yeah, and I started creating like high convictions, you know what I'm saying? Like throughout everything it was that I said, I got
locked down in.
Just locked in, zoned in, man, because it happened before, and I knew I could make it happen again. So that's kind of when I just figured it out. I'm like, just gotta go at it. Whatever it is you're gonna do, it's gonna happen.
Hey, voice community. Quick commercial break. Are you running a business and you're looking for a trusted partner to help you brand your business effectively through merch, designs, and branding? I want to introduce you guys to our partners, A+ Branding, a custom printing shop that takes care of all your branding needs. Located in Santa Paula, California, A+ Branding specializes in custom t-shirts, hats, stickers, banners, deco, buildings, or window decals. They do it all. They've helped me a lot personally, ensuring that I am representing my business properly, and I recommend you do too. They have a website that you can design your custom items directly through their online store. You can hop on their site, create your design, and place your order in just a few clicks. Whether you need a single item or a bulk order for your business or event with custom stickers, shirts, or a banner for an event, or even embroidered uniform for your team, they got you covered. On top of that, they'll ship your order straight to your door. You can use the promo code VOICED to get 10% off your first orders over $100 to get started. You can head over to their website at www.aplusbranding.com and start designing today. Now back to the show.
Does it happen? Like, it's gonna happen. You just gotta like
just keep going.
Yeah, man. Be commitment, or
for sure.
Yeah, be committed, be consistent, and see it through all the time.
So yeah. Thanks for sharing that too, man. I think a lot of creators, artists, or anybody who's trying to go needs to hear that for themselves. That they need to, if you literally just see something like for yourself, you need to go after a creative plan and see where it goes. And the more you do, the better. I always say the harder you work, the luckier you get. Right.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just it, man. You gotta shoot your shot. You know what I'm saying?
So talk a little about your experiences. Like traveling out there. I mean, what were some memorable experiences that you've had?
honestly, I really loved experiencing the shows and everything
Yeah.
with the fans,
Mm.
with the people, because like I wasn't like always on stage. I was
Yeah.
always like going around the whole venue trying to network,
Behind the
find
screen,
artists,
yeah.
behind the scenes, because I knew at the time, like even though the artist is on stage, like we got to the part where he's on stage and all right, everything is cool. That's just where I have to go do everything else. I gotta go capture videos, so we have highlights. I gotta go talk to artists, make sure everyone else is cool. Manager's good, the other artists, videographer's good, sound guy's doing his job. We have the video playing in the back, you know what I mean, behind the artists, and you know what I mean, just making sure a lot of things are still working properly. But at the same time, I just feel having the experience with the fans at each one of these shows, because each one of them was different, bro. And like no matter what,
How so?
I just feel, because like there was like so many people that were like rich, poor, or like, you know, in
Different
a bad
backgrounds.
place. Yeah, just different backgrounds. But when they come to the show, nothing else matters after that show or after those songs get played. And then like they just express, you know what I mean, so much about like how this show was just so meant and made their day or changed their life or just changed their whole day that they were having bad, or you know what I mean, or like just dreaming like, oh yo, been waiting for him to come, been waiting to do this, and you know what I mean, and then people just sharing their story too, like, and I'm just like, why are you sharing it with me?
Yeah, that
like,
synchronicity that people get through similar shared experiences, like it amplifies that energy within that room. You know?
Yeah.
That's why I think people love going to festivals, events, you know, or any types of whatever occurring may happen. You know, there seems to be more energy through proximity.
Yeah.
You know,
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, all the cities were beautiful. You know, all the main places we
what
went
was
to
your favorite
go.
one?
You know what? I gotta say, I had a lot of fun in Texas.
Okay, what
Yeah,
part of Texas?
Houston particularly.
Houston. Okay.
Yeah,
Shout out
man.
Houston.
Shout out to H Town out there. You know what I mean? It was just like a whole different. It was kind of like L.A. culture, but like a little bit more. Like just different, man. It's southern out there. It's like, you know what
I
I mean?
imagine it's a little more country
Yeah,
southern, you know.
yeah, country southern, you know,
Yeah.
turned up type stuff. You know what I mean? But the people out there, they really show us a good time.
Nice,
They're
nice.
really like just family based type stuff. You know what I mean? That's how I feel Texas is too. You know what I mean? Really like family oriented out there. You know what I mean? So that's why like we felt really at home. And yeah, I feel like Texas really had a good hold on me. And you know, I gotta give a shout out to Denver though.
Wow, what's up with the Denver?
Denver's just a cool place, man. I don't know. Like it's just the atmosphere is different too, and there's like a lot of like Latinos out there too.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like it again, every place I went to was just different. You know what I mean? And no matter what, it was just like a whole different world. It's different worlds everywhere you go out there, man. Even when I went to like Idaho or like where's the other one? I forgot. But like, bro, those towns, they shut down at 9 o'clock. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
9 p.m. So like, it's kind of weird seeing like different places like they're just quiet after 9.
Yeah.
When you're used to California, it's like it's active. Like,
Um,
you know what I mean? Like really
yeah.
late and stuff. New York was a trip too.
Yeah, they're pretty active too.
Yeah, all night.
Yeah.
All night. Yeah, we'd go down Times Square area and all that, you know what I mean? And we'd probably walk up to like a corner and it's like 3 a.m. and people are battling, freestyling, just having ciphers right there.
Nice.
Like,
That's
yeah,
dope.
man, it was really dope.
Yeah, at that time, was it just like, were you with your family now, or were you just by yourself?
No,
Or-
I was just by myself.
Okay.
Yeah, I had my daughter, and like that's the thing. My daughter's the oldest; she's 14. So like she kind of got to see the beginnings of me promoting. She got to see me sell tickets out the trunk because I mean, even at the time, 2013, Instagram wasn't really what it is now. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, I really had to like go everywhere, drive everywhere, and set up meet and greets for myself just to tell people I'm gonna be right there selling tickets. So meet me there at that time.
Nice.
So, you know, she really got to see all that, but I was really by myself. And, you know, so I went on the road with all these artists by myself. I didn't have nobody with me from Santa Barbara or the 805, you know, and it was cool. I was comfortable with everybody. Everybody just
What
showed
kind
me
of
love.
artists did you work with?
A lot of hip hop artists. You know, let's just name a few. We're gonna name King Lil G, Young Drummer Boy, Baby Bash, RJ Mr. LA, TC DeLoke, Self Provoked, High Tone, Reverie, Devour.
So you work with a lot of these underground artists way back when I started listening to them around 2010.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of the artists that started off with the Cypher Effect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, man. So I worked with a lot of them. I came around that time around them. You know what I mean? And so I got to meet all of them, got to work with all of them, either whether it was shows, whether it was booking them for shows, or whether it was bringing them to wherever it was, or even getting verses from them to put together songs. So, and there's a whole lot of lists too. There's a big list from the 805 too. But
I gotta ask, how did that, like, you were a promoter?
Yes.
They knew you as a promoter. This guy who put people together and had a really great time and doing it, making people feel better. How did that come across? Like, what kind of a relationship were you able to build with these artists and, venues, that allowed you while traveling around? Like, did they just know you as, did you come with a name for your company or something that, like, allowed you to get yourself around? Or how did they knew, who to book or how to book you?
No, man, I was solo dolo, no name, no brand. A lot of people were telling me to, come up with a brand, but me, myself, it has to be something that I'm going to relate to, that I'm going to stand on and I'm going to believe in, you know what I mean? So, like, coming up with a name itself is, like, it has to be special. It has to, like, I have to, like, really, like, think about it, man. But at the time, I was just, like, on survivor mode.
You were just Anthony?
Just Antweezy.
Oh, Antweezy.
Yeah, I was Antweezy. That's the name that I had in the music industry. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, it was just me, just all me at the whole time. And everybody just knew just my Instagram, and everybody just knew Antweezy because all these other artists were posting me and letting people know, thank you to him, or if not, ask him to book me for this. And so it got really quick around the whole country that, like, yo, hit him up.
Yeah.
And so a lot of venues, a lot of promoters, especially from across the nation, knew that. Yo, we're trying to bring him to town. We're trying to do this. Can you do this, that?
Love that.
Yeah, cool. Sounds good. Let's do it. Book it. Blah, 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 blah. Deposits coming in, going out, and everything. Nice. You know what I mean? And so it was really swell. And yeah, that's kind of how, like, just really got to make the connection. Not only that, on my Instagram too, because, like, some of these artists, like, they won't post until maybe like 3 weeks before the event or something. Yeah. I'm posting 2 months before. Yeah. Like, I'm letting everyone know. Even if I don't have the flyer, I'm still letting people know, like, 2 months ahead. Yo, we coming. We coming. Get ready. Because at the same time, even though, like, I'm not exactly the promoter for that show, but I'm, like, the in-house booking agent now for this team, I still want to see that show sell out. I still want to see people show up. I still want to see the meet and greet, fill up and everything. And I just want to see everybody there who I saw last time. So, like, I still put in that work, even though, like, it don't really matter.
I'm actually curious as well, and we can dive into it right now. How has it transitioned to now? Because, like, before, back then, you're talking 2013, 14, Instagram was just popping.
Right.
And I can remember the interface of it. It was just like, the Gen Zs would never know it now.
It was just like a gallery.
Yeah, it was literally a gallery. Yeah. How were you promoting back then, and how has it transitioned to now?
The streets, bro.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, just hitting the ground running.
Okay.
And then not only that, I think because I started coming up with a lot of strategies too. Even though Instagram was what it was, the artist at the time probably had like 50, 70,000 followers. But the engagement with a lot of these artists, like, they're getting like, 230 comments. They're getting, 1,500 likes or whatever. I go and DM those people. I DM the artist's fans.
So you were hustling.
Yeah, bro, because that's the way I'm going to be able to get to them. I'm not in Alabama. I'm not in Idaho. I'm not in Washington. I'm in Santa Barbara. So it's like, I just go DM, and I still do it till this day. That's why 805 Media Day I know we're bouncing ahead, but that's why it was really successful too.
Love that. Actually, it's that just gave me a whole new respect for you, because it's funny because a lot of businesses or artists don't utilize engagements often enough, and they want people to come to them. So I can see how you were able to build up your
It's just not enough to post. It's not enough to tag people. It's not enough to invite collaboration, even though we have
that's how you got my attention.
Right. I know, man. But listen, you got to...
I see that now.
And that's the thing that I tell a lot of artists. Reach out, bro. Yeah. Don't be afraid to reach out. Shoot your shot. Ask your question. You're going to get a no. It's okay. Move on or come back again and ask again.
Love that.
I tell a lot of the podcasters, too. I'm like, ask them. hit them up, invite collaboration. It doesn't
It's
matter.
so crazy. The only reason I was able to get someone like, like some dope guests in here was because I DM'd, like
Yeah.
and those DM transition into more.
Yeah, if you want it, you
Yeah.
got to go get it. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to go get it in all 52 states, even though we only went to 48.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to get it, man. And not only that,
Dude, that's still more than most
I'm
people.
on their vision. You know what I mean? I'm trying to fulfill their vision, the
Yeah.
artist's vision. You know what I mean? I'm trying to make sure he prospers and goes to wherever it is he's trying to go. So it's like, whatever work I got to put in. And that's the art. And that's the thing that the artists really knew about me. Because they're like, damn, bro, like, how'd you sell like 982 tickets for our show? How'd you do that? Because I DM'd. I told people, I'm putting together a meet and greet with all these spots. I'm going to meet you in all the counties of LA, in the county of LA at these times, and you meet me there. And that's what I did for like a whole month straight. And I did that because we had a show coming up at the Novo Theater. I don't know what it is now. The Microsoft Theater is right next to the Staples Center, right? 2,000 people filled up that night, but I sold 982 tickets of those. And I was selling tickets even mailing them out. I was mailing them out because people were coming from Atlanta, Vegas, like all these different states. You know what I mean? And they came, bro. And they came. I sent the ticket out, and they came. They paid too, and everything.
Damn.
You know what I mean? But like that was just a little bit. Other than that, I went all over LA County, all over the IE. I went to San Diego, obviously the 805.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I just set up shop in different places and sold tickets. I'd wait there for like 2 hours, but even though the whole 2 hours, people were coming up, so I was never just waiting a dull moment. But
Love that.
I was just out there, man, just DMing everybody. You know what I mean, and just letting people know I got what you need.
But still, man, respect to that, because nowadays, right, this influencer economy or the creator economy, I call it, has grown where people are starting to realize that they can make money off of creating their own platforms. At the time, when you were the one creating or you had the content, which was, I would say, unimaginably hard. Like it was hard to picture yourself creating content, back then. Right. So if an artist was creating content, an influencer, or we call them an Instagrammer at the time, right? Influencer sounded so cringy at the time, but now it's like more, people still don't want to use it because there's a meaning attached to it. But back then, like if you were creating content, like, dude, like this guy's something,
I you know what? And in a way too, I feel like I was creating content definitely because I would kind of tell some of the guys like, hey, let's go to this spot, let's do a little video and like do like some crazy creative stuff. You know what I mean? Or let's get clever with some things that we put out there. You know what I mean? So there was a lot of different things that I would bring to, and then like we would go live too at the shows. I started going live. I kind of at times would interview like certain artists backstage. Like I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just like trying to like at the same time network on my network. Like, yo, I'm out here in Dallas. Come meet Throat Essay because he's here. Blah 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 to all these people, and like it just like made so much more doors open up and engagement just happened, and like it was just crazy. I don't know.
So you had that time frame. Obviously, it's completely different now. You ended up having to focus on family. Yeah. Right? I mean, just out of curiosity, transitioning to focus on your family, what was it that made you decide to come back out here? I mean, obviously there was something that made you realize, okay, I need to, shift my focus. That was important for the family side.
Yeah, because, I was living life not knowing what to expect the next day, just knowing like, whoever hits us up, we're going, we have to do it. Or whatever agenda pops up out of nowhere, we have to go do it. You know what I mean? We have to go do whatever it is that we have to do. Like, so there's like no schedule because we're just on this flow, this energetic flow that just, you know what I mean? Momentum, you get on. Yeah, exactly, bro. And so, but I don't know, for some reason, like I started feeling like I kind of didn't want to do shows too much no more because that's kind of all I was doing. And for some reason, I started thinking like, I feel like I could like do a lot more. I feel like I could probably fill some other positions because at the time too, I'm also getting to know talent agencies and other managers and trying to see like how they're working because I don't see them at the shows. I don't see them at all the shows. You You know what I mean? So they show up to the LA show, the New York one, and the San
Yeah.
Francisco one, like the main ones. I'm like, how do I work like that? Like how? And like they're also setting up the tours too because they're working with Live Nation. But I'm like, bro, but I'm putting in so much work. I'm working harder, but I'm working even much harder on the streets. Like I'm working hard on social media, but I'm working hard going on the street too and doing everything.
Yeah.
I'm kind of exhausting myself. So I'm like, okay, I need to work smarter. But at the same time, I didn't realize that God, in a way, was kind of like slowing me up for what was going to start to come in my life, which was going to end up being some negative obstacles and some life-changing moments that I would have never accepted. Or if I knew what I was praying for, I probably wouldn't have prayed at all. But what I'm going to say is that my grandparents were getting older. And they raised me, so I had to, like, you know, just come back and make sure that they're good and take care of them. But at the same time, I was out there on the road making my money, but sending it back home so that grandma and grandpa are good and get whatever they need to get, and then obviously save the money for me. And so, you know, at the time I started talking to these artists. I'm like, hey, I don't know if I want to do shows no more. I don't know what's happening. I feel like I just want to expand my mind and to see what else there is out there for me and do some other things. And, you know, with all respect, it's like, well, hey, man, you know, do what you gotta do, you know, much love. You know, we got a lot of work to do, so I don't know if you really want to do that. But I was just like, I don't know. You know, I just feel like I gotta do something else because I just felt like I just felt like my potential was a lot more higher than just doing shows and event courting. You know what I'm saying? That's when everything else where I am now and where I'm at now started coming. But like I said, I felt like God was slowing all my plans down because he was like, I need you to go back home because grandparents are getting older, and they were, and then the wheelchairs started coming in. So I'm like, okay. And I've been and that's the other thing. Before this whole music stuff, I was a caregiver.
Okay.
I worked at the hospitals.
Right,
I worked at the retirement homes. So, you know, I always took care of the elderly and, you know, all that. So to me, it was nothing to do that because I was doing it already in a way. But now they're really getting old. So now I'm like, all right, I really got to take care of them. It's really like, you know, assistance going everywhere. So, you know, that was happening. That was one part. And so at the time, too, I'm trying to like get back into the game.
You got the itch.
I got the itch, man. I'm like, dude. And like I started forming my family too. I started meeting my fiance. Well, she's my fiance now. Started, you know, we met, you know, and then we were dating. Even though, cause I was having this break. I'm like, you know, let's, you know, I don't know. That just started happening, you know what I mean? And it happened at a great time because she was such a great support of mine, and I wouldn't have been able to get through what I got through, man, if it wasn't for her. Because even though the grandparents were getting sick, I was also having to deal with family issues, negativity, narcissism, manipulation, and just, you know, just not the best support at all. And it never was the best support, even when I had my first dream of being a pro skater, I got sponsored.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I even got sponsored because even at the time, I knew what these guys were doing to get where they were at. I'm like, okay, I need a camera and I need to record myself. I need a team. We need to go hit all these spots that they're going to, make a video and send it in to the skate shop. Shout out to Church of Skating and Surf Country. Surf Country sponsored me.
Okay.
Because I was consistent with them too. I probably took them 4 demo tapes.
Wow.
And because of that, they're like, hey, man, yeah, because you're consistent, you keep bringing and you're practicing, we're going to get you on. I was happy as shit because it was one of my dreams, but they weren't happy. And they were saying, you got to do a real sport. So, all right.
And when you say they,
I say, we'll say my mom and my stepdad.
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Just a unsupportive family in this end. Okay.
Yeah. Just unsupportive, you know what I mean? And if not, you know, they seemed happy for you in the beginning, but then once things start happening, it's like, it's just a switch.
It's so crazy because I get a lot of guests in here as well, or even in my day-to-day conversations with other, you know, entrepreneurs or business owners or artists, you know, like oftentimes the real support doesn't come from our family, you know, because what they see for us may not be what we see for us. So when it's incongruent with, you know, how they see us being successful, it creates friction, and oftentimes
Right.
it's very hard to combat that because the reality of you is not the reality that you want for yourself.
Right, exactly. And they try to convince you somehow
Yeah.
that their reality is what you're supposed to be living. And later you start to realize like, man, I think they may have had dreams too. They may have dreamed. They
Yeah.
might wanted to do something because
Yeah.
I know stepdad, he had a lot of them, but
They want you to face the reality that they're facing.
right. It's what I mean, but I just couldn't, you know what I mean? And that's the thing. It's like that was happening or that started happening, but like I didn't realize that it had been happening my whole life. I had a real wake up call.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Because the things were getting real muddy and treacherous, and it was really affecting myself and my daughter too. You know what I mean? I didn't even realize that she was a small part victim of that too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Wow.
like, I don't know, a lot of wisdom, a lot of perspective, like a spiritual journey just started happening. And
Yeah.
I just started like realizing, wow, like I started really being awakened. You know what I mean? And next thing led to the next. I just, I said something just about like, can you help out? Because I gotta do something. And then it was like a negative response.
Oh shit.
And I was like, I don't understand. Like, like it was like to help my grandma, but it's like that's your mom. You know what I mean? Like, but not in a rude way. It's like you guys are here right now. But man, it was so negative. So after that, I was like, that is weird. So
How just I want to dive in this topic because I think it's very important because I think a lot of people who are trying to pursue something deeper or bigger than themselves get come across this problem of like the
Yeah.
identity that their closer people come about. How
Right.
did you combat, or not so much combat, but I guess how did you work around this situation where the closest people around you were not as supportive as this they should have been, but you went against the grain and figured it out yourself anyways?
I feel it's kind of sad to say this, but I had to hide my authentic self a lot.
Okay.
Just couldn't be my real self. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, even though I would truly believed in myself and what I
Yeah.
wanted to do, you just can't. Can't be your real self around these people or, believe what you believe in and, like, expect them to support
Yeah.
you, be all that, because, no, man, like, it's just not going to happen. But, like, my whole life, that's just what it was, just hiding my authentic self because even though if something, like, great or prosperous happened, I was really excited, it's just, like, just wasn't good enough. You know what I mean? Like, and, like, I felt like I was always, like, I felt like I got rejected so much from them and, like, just, not making them happy for me that I felt like, damn, like, I need to make them happy. Like, you know what I mean? So I felt like that was my first mistake, too. You know what I'm
Trying
saying?
to make somebody happy
Yeah.
that wasn't authentic to you.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And because, like, it's my mom. you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
So
Of
it's
course, it
like,
hits home.
so, yeah, man. So just having to hide my authentic self and not being my real self was my way of getting around. But then, like, once I'm around like-minded people, I tried being my authentic self, but then, like, sometimes, like, I would want to, but then I'd feel like, well, how are these people going to react? Because, you know what I mean? If my closest people...
You kind of have a trigger
Yeah,
or
a trigger.
trauma or something.
Yeah, because it's like, if my closest people are treating me like this, I'm kind of like already expecting the world to kind of be like this.
I see.
You know
I
what I'm
see, I
saying?
see.
And this is like way before music, way before even like, probably even being 18. It's just like,
Right.
like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. Like, is it going to be hard being accepted in the world? Is it going to be hard even like trying to like burst out my ideas and try to like, like, so yeah, man. And that's another reason too why I felt like I wasn't too communicative or, when I was trying to like tell these artists like I need to take a break, I need to go, because I didn't want to tell them what was happening. I didn't want to like express all that. You know what I'm saying? Because at the same time, I felt like not expressing a lot either. Because like, what if they judge me? What if like, I don't know.
So in essence, a part of you also pivoting back was also you felt that what you thought that could be happy for you wasn't making other people around you happy.
Yeah, in a way, you know what I mean? Especially the closest, like my mom and, stepdad. My grandparents, I won't count them because they're old school generation from Mexico, like the 1920s. So, like, they don't know what the fuck's going on. They're like, as long as you do good and bring good money in, that's all that matters. And, you know what I mean? But, yeah, I don't know. It's just...
I see. Yeah, I mean that's a hard thing to combat because I mean, do you feel that if you had been a little bit more I guess, expressive about your situation with the other past artists, you would have gotten a different type of support or maybe some perspective?
They probably would have sat down with me, had some real talks with me, you know what I mean, and try to like make me understand from their perspective, you know what I mean, or whatnot. Because like coming from their background, I didn't hear them talk about them having narcissistic parents or manipulators. Just like my dad wasn't there.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, okay, well, shit, I got a whole lot of problems.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to explain this to someone because it's like, you know, are they even going to accept me after? Are they going to think like, okay, he's a little weak? Not like a little weak person, but like a weak link maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the types of things because like the unit is strong and you have to be strong, bro.
For
Mentally strong, especially going into this game and everything that's going to come because, you know, forget battling stuff at home. You got battle stuff on the road. You got battle stuff even within you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People like having a mental block, you know what I mean? Going through all this stuff and then, you know, losing faith maybe at times because something's not working. You know what I mean? So it's like I had it all mentally strong for all that, but like the whole family thing, I didn't know because it's like that's your family. You don't want to go against them. You don't want to like stand up to them and like protect yourself and say, I don't like how I feel or you're making me feel. You know what I mean? Because then it's like it's a whole attack.
Question. Do you avoid confrontation?
I mean, yeah, in a way, but not like in a way like I don't want to deal with it. It's like let me think.
It's not right to do
like
it.
let me think of what's happening right now because I need to process it and like just see how negative is it or like what my response is gonna be or my reaction.
Yeah.
But you know, sometimes like when it's a certain confrontation, like a disagree to agree, like you know, I can handle those.
Yeah.
In a way, but like I don't know, like when someone starts like kind of like in a like kind of like in a small form tearing your character, tearing certain things around you apart, and like
picking
you know,
pieces apart.
Yeah, I really noticed the smallest freaking things that somebody will say that to them, they might be like, bro, that's nothing. Anybody would get over that real quick. But to me, it's like, what did you really mean by that? Or like, what are you trying to say?
Yeah.
Because that my mind has been so fucked up.
Yeah.
From all this happening and like just the slightest criticism to the biggest, because I've been criticized by these people too. Like all the trauma I have now and the triggers and everything and things that you know, whatever it was that, you know, made me feel how I feel now. Well, I shouldn't say now, right? But before my mind got free was because of my closest people, because of them. You know what I mean? And that's why sometimes I just always felt like, man, I always got better love from people who weren't my blood.
It's true. Yeah, you usually get more love from strangers.
Yeah, and then like all my friends, they had, I'm not going to say they had perfect families, but their families were not like mine. I'm like, why is mine like this? Like, why do I feel like, you know, like a black sheep, but I'm just like the only person here? Like, oh no, it was, you know.
So during that time frame that you felt that you weren't supported and you had to pivot away from the group that you were running with, right? You ended up pivoting around, helping out your family again, and then you found your family, you created your family throughout the process, right? When you had this itch to come back out, did you feel, because like for me, you know, when I was learning my pathway and I started figuring out that, I could do way more, but if I wasn't doing those things that like fulfill that, I felt it not only inauthentic, but I felt like it wasn't normal. And it didn't take me until recently, like maybe these last 2 years, that this is my new normal. Me creating shit, doing different stuff, figuring things out, fucking building shit out of normalcy. That shit's normal to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like during that time frame when, you know, you pivoted away and you had this itch, did you feel that sense of like, dude, like that's my pathway. I need there's something in there.
Right. Because even though I was battling, you know, taking care of my grandparents and then battling my mom and stepdad, we even went to court. That's how we were able to separate us. Yeah. Because, you know what I mean? Because I'm not going to go cut them off. I don't do that type of stuff. Yeah. So I had a talk with God. God did that work for me. And that was that. You know what I'm saying? So we went to court, battled all that out. It happened what it was. But yes, I was getting a lot of like itch of wanting to get back into it because it was a good 3-year break. break. And so I tried putting together a song. with an artist, and it went good. I liked the song, but we started doing little rollouts, and it just wasn't like making me feel like this is not the purpose, this is not the reasoning. Okay, but you did it, and it was good. Okay, then an artist came to me again. Hey, I want to put together a mini tour, because I had just came back on Instagram. I had deleted my old one, made a new one about a year ago, and so. Yeah, the first one was a song. The second one was an artist. Wanted to do a mini tour. I did it, but I was trying to do it in a way where I'm not too involved and that I could do it remotely from home, but I could hire promoters and have someone overlook this while I book all the things and put it in motion for everybody.
So you were behind the scenes of an artist's song?
Yeah, of an artist's song. And then
technical producing kind of more? Or?
No, it was more like I had a little budget at the time.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I have this low budget. Let's try to, use this budget for my itch, whatever it is that it's going to be. Talk to this first artist. He had, he wanted to do some songs. I want to do some songs with him because he did singing and rapping. And I was like, hell yeah, I'm into that right now.
Nice.
So I'm like, yo, I got $1,000 right now. Let's do something. So we got the beats. We got a video done, got studio. We did a whole probably like 15 hours in a day, like just recorded the whole song and shot the video too, all in the same day and night, and put it out, went on radio, did another podcast thing, and it was cool. I mean, during the process, I was really excited and happy because I'm like, okay, cool. I'm getting back into it. I'm here. But like after the fact, I was like, that didn't fulfill me all the way.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
I'm just being straight honest. Like, no disrespect to the artist or anybody that I was working with. It's just like, you gotta understand, like, I'm barely coming back. My mind is still like I'm still healing. I'm still healing during that time. So like, it was just really weird, like weird place. But then, we did the tour, and like I said, we did 4 cities. I locked that in for them. You know what I mean? But it wasn't fulfilling me. It wasn't. I was just like, okay, I just did 2 different things.
Yeah.
Like what's going on?
You helped making music for them, and you also helped them tour.
And so maybe like a couple more months passed by, and something came to me, and I was like, I think I started seeing a little bit more media people media platforms, because like I said, I came back a year, but some of you guys have been here for like 2 years or 2.5 during my break. So when I came back, I'm like, whoa, we have this here now?
Yeah.
Because LA had it, and they have it unlocked, but I'm like, yo, the 805 has media platforms now. It's not just artists and videographers no more.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, there's like 30 of you guys now, and it's a whole different fucking game change in the 805. It's a whole new untapped market. It's a whole new everything. So I was like, wow, okay, I'm going to go to these platforms and talk to them and see what I could do with them. I was like, can I manage you guys? That's kind of like the next thing I was going into. I'm like, let me see if I can manage podcasters instead. Instead of managing artists and managing producers, let me see if I could, and putting together shows. Let me see if I can manage some podcasters and see if I can bring guests to them and do bookings for them. Some people were like, I don't know. We're going to try to figure it out on their own first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had the vision for every single one of you guys I hit, bro. Because I'm like, I'm still in contact with some of these artists. Like, let me bring them to you guys. But it was just like foreign, like me coming to them and saying, yo, let me help manage and do some behind the scenes. Because they're foreign to the whole thing too. They're new platforms. So it's like new. Like, what do you mean you want to bring artists? Like, yeah, bro, that's what you're doing. So it's like, we're about to build this. But, that didn't really work out. So I was like, okay. Let me grab some artists and maybe I'll ask one of these platforms, let's do a cypher. So, you know what I mean? That was an idea because I was like, I want to kind of like get in touch with everybody here. And that kind of like made me feel a little bit more fulfilled and started like my purpose kind of started like coming to visualization because I was like, I'm about to go get these guys, and each one of them, I'm getting like 2 guys from the Tri-Counties. I'm getting like 2 guys from San Luis Obispo, 2 guys from Santa Barbara County, and 2 guys from Ventura County. And we're going to do this cypher because I feel now that we have media here, I think we need to connect the coast. I think it's a great time to do something big here in the 805, and I'm going to do it.
Nice.
So We went to go try to do that. It didn't work out just because, natural reasons, things don't work out. Everybody's time schedule, you know what I mean? People
Yeah,
are coming
yeah.
from all different places, and you know what I mean? So we're like, all right, it's cool. It's cool. I'm gonna take some time then. But that idea, I was like, babe, I really have an idea that we could really like bring people together. And like, I don't even know what I was thinking with that cipher, because I think there's something even bigger than that. And I don't think we should do ciphers. I think, and like I started thinking like, what is something that like gravitates everybody to come? You know what I mean? No matter, it's an event. An event really brings people together. And so I'm thinking, okay, what kind of event are we gonna put together for this? And then I just started thinking like, okay, what are like some like sneaker con or comic con or the business expos or job fairs. I was like, the formula that they have, I want to put that into the music community, and I want to involve the podcasters. And oh my God, babe, I think the podcasters should be the vendors. I think they should be the vendors, because I think they should offer their services, and we should have the people who are going to come attend, the guests, be the artists. Oh my God, I think we have something here, and I just need to find a place to do it, and I need to talk to these platforms to see if they're down. You know what I mean? So I started off with Connect the Coast. He's out there in San Luis Obispo, and he has Connect the Coast Radio, and and his whole vision, his whole vision is connecting the coast and trying to, showcase a lot of the artists that are here, producers, entrepreneurs, and everybody like that. I was like, all right, cool. The next person I hit up was Odyssey Visuals, because she's just really dope at what she does. She's clever, she's creative. Not only that, I've been wanting to work with her too. So I gave them both the idea. I'm like, what do you guys think of this? Like, what if we called it 805 Media Day? And it was like media day, like real. Like if we had all you media guys come to this one place on this one day for a few hours, and have the artists come to this one place on this one day for a few hours, and everybody network, everybody do interviews, everybody get to know everybody. We all just build right there and just bring out the village. They're like, you want to do what? I'm like, bro, I want to do what like the job fairs and the fair expos and all these things are happening. I explained to them. They're like, wow. They're like, that's a great idea. That's something that has never been done here before.
Yeah, I love that.
It's very new. And I was like, okay, let's do it. So I started putting little posts on Instagram, and I just put, are artists in the 805 willing to network with media platforms in 805? And how can we do that? I got all the comments on there, and it was nothing different than what I've heard over the last 10 years being in 805. Because even though I went around the country and everything and did all these things with all these LA artists, I still involved 805 artists with me on my journey, on my path, whatever shows I was having. If an 805 artist wanted to get on it or be a part of it, I try to make it happen, or I try to get them the info to be part of it. So I always still kept like my roots to the 805, because no matter where I went, I was still repping 805 and letting people know where I was from. And not only that, it was funny. I was meeting a lot of 805ers everywhere else too, bro. But, so a lot of the artists already knew me from 10 years ago.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when they started seeing that, they're like, dang, what are you up to? Like, what's going on? Like, we're down. We're down to support you. So the support was already like 100% from the gate because of the work I had put in already with everybody else. So I'm like, bro, I want to introduce you to the platforms out here. I want to introduce you to the podcasters. There's podcasters? Yeah. Look at this list. At the time, it was like 10.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude,
crazy.
You know what I mean? Look at these guys. They're ready to interview you. They're ready to do this. And so I was like, all right. I found a venue, and shout out to the Isla Vista Community Center, because they were really engaged with the vision and my idea. They're like, yo, and I didn't want to charge either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm still not going to charge also for like another few years, because we have so much more to build. We have so much more to go. So, you know what I mean? Like right now, that's not even like my motive, my purpose or anything. But, so we got the venue for free, because they're like, we want you to help the music community, and we want to bring music back to our area too. So whatever it is we could help, we're down with it. So I was like, all right, cool. So then I put it out there, and then it just started having like a snowball effect. Everybody just started tapping in. When's the date? We'll help you with the flyer. We'll help you set up things. You need speakers. You need DJ. What do you need? Like, it was just crazy, bro. Like, just like even showing people what I was about to do, the venue, and like I kind of like really painted it out for everybody how I wanted it to be seen.
And what kind of just for artists or creators or anybody who feel that they might resonate with this vision that you have, what kind of people did you attract during this first 805 Media Day?
I really wanted to attract everybody of all sorts of life, and I invited all the promoters. I invited social media influencers, if we have any. I see, that's the thing too. I don't know exactly what we have out here, but I was putting out posts. I was letting everybody else know, put this out, because let's find out what we have here.
Right.
Let's know. All I know is I invited all the DJs. I invited all the promoters. I invited all the recording studios. I invited the videographers. I invited, DJs, the platforms. And I was like, yo, reach out to anybody any entrepreneurs, investors, people in the community of politics, or, like the city hall type stuff, like nonprofits too, like Freedom to Youth and some other people like that, because I wanted to get people involved, because my whole vision and the way I put it out too, I was like, listen, this is for the music community. This is for everybody who is doing something now and has been, but this is also for someone who has no idea how to step into this music industry or entertainment industry. Not just music, because maybe they want to be something else, like, that's just in the entertainment business. So it's like, come here. Someone is going to teach you something. You're going to learn something. You're just going to network, and then you'll probably figure it out. This was also for the youth, for the kids that wanted to dream to be a rapper, an artist, a film producer, a podcaster, a DJ. You know what I'm saying? Because, hey, man, believe it or not, there's people dreaming to be podcasters right now.
For sure.
For real.
It's crazy because I would never have thought where I've been at with where it is now, but I think with your idea coming from that approach, just looking at like what's missing and you wanted to connect that, I think it's a good intention. I think you not charging to start to build up on that is definitely going to take it. And I'm always excited to hear people's stories from building it into a vision, into something more. And as time progresses, I watch, I observe, I support as much as I can, obviously, but from the aspect of growth, like it's cool to see stuff like that. I think you have a good foundation to focus on that. Now, as far as with what you have experienced back in the past, how do you plan to, I guess, what's your vision with what you experienced in the past, working with artists, traveling around, with what you're trying to do now?
Well, so basically what I'm personally trying to do now with my company, Prominent Records and Prominent Management, is I want to really have artists and work with them and have them under my label and do rollouts with them, show them the proper way to, do music production, rollouts, media runs, promo runs, marketing, budgets, putting in where you need to, and just being like an advocate for artists, you know what I mean? But the ones that are going to be under the label. And then I started this other segment of Prominent Management, and that was more of like, okay, I'm going to open up a consulting business, because I feel like there's a lot of artists that need artist development, media training,
For sure.
Stage presentation and stuff like that, or just advice, or just like what to do next, or like a plan or a vision. And that's where I came up with that, because I was like, look, I could focus on the artists that I'm truly passionate with and focusing on for my label, which is going to help my label grow and make it be what it's going to be, you know what I mean, and foster these superstars. But on the other note, I also want to help out everybody else who's not going to be on my label but still wants my guidance or wants some advice or wants something to be part of what I have going on, and I'm able to offer them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not gouging people. My price is, honestly, sometimes like it's like $25 a month, because my priority with the artist is like, your budget's important and it needs to go towards the music and your career and everything else. Worry about me later. Let's get this plan going. Let's build this up, this resume, this whole dialogue. I'm gonna give it to you. You know what I mean? And if you feel like you're satisfied with it, cool. pay up. You know what I'm saying? Make payments. I don't care. My main goal is to help you out and get you what you need to be and open my doors to you, and we'll figure out the rest later.
And
You know what I'm
I was
saying?
telling you last time we met in here, I think your intention to build community is I think, how do I put this together? Your vision that you're trying to create, because obviously you're trying to grow with an artist, right, and help them
Right.
become successful, and you want to build your own company, you still want to build something for yourself that is fulfilling, but also you understand that there's a gap that's missing that can be valuable for other people who's growing. You're connecting the dots. You're
Right.
that intention, I believe, is what a lot of people miss out on, is like, how do I become a valuable person? How do I become a
Right.
valuable asset to another person's journey?
Right.
And I think, from this approach, for me, in my experience at least, I tend to see people growing something much more. Who knows? Maybe you might acquire the next new talent, or maybe the next new business,
Right.
or you might just have some crazy partnership that another business is watching, and that's the other thing, right?
Right.
People
Yeah.
people don't realize who's watching.
Yeah, and that's
know?
another thing I'm trying to create too, is like I'm trying to work with the local businesses. We're trying to mesh and network with everybody, because at the end of the day, we all got to come together, and we're all independent. You know what I'm saying? So it's like even more the merrier. And that's the other thing too, is like I'm also trying to fulfill this huge untapped market of the 805 and bring everybody here so that we could rise up and be at par with LA, be at par with the Bay, and then at the end of the day, California will be known as a whole.
Yeah.
It'll be a whole marketplace to send artists from Texas out here, New York. Hey, I got a press run going on for you. Where am I going? LA? Yes, you're going to LA, but you're also going to the 805 now. They have a bunch of podcasts. They got radio. So we're going to do press runs over there.
Nice,
you know what I mean?
nice.
So it's like I'm trying to build that up.
I actually don't think there's a lot of people in here that are that are leveraging or utilizing smaller or micro platforms enough to build others up. And
Right.
usually, if you're in Hollywood, if you have a good PR manager, or if you're with an agency, they are connected already with all these other platforms.
Right.
So essentially, like you're positioning yourself as you're growing your company to grow with these other platforms. And
Yes.
as some of these platforms are growing, you have these immense connection that allows you to tap into.
I'm the PR here.
Yeah, exactly.
You
There
know,
go,
I'm
man.
doing the PRs here. I'm
Make sure you
doing
hit
the
'em up,
media
guys.
runs. Yeah, hit me up, man. I've already sent 20 people on media runs.
Love
You
that.
know, we're just trying to like have everybody be engaged with everybody, subscribe to everybody, comment, and you know what I mean, repost and all this stuff, because at the same time we know who the artists are here
Yeah.
too, but we also need to know everybody else is here. So it's the only way we're gonna grow as a community. And I love what a lot of the podcasters are doing now, because they're kind of like thinking of creative ways to stand out from the other podcasters, because now they're getting busier, they're having more artists come, and they're doing just different stuff to like even make themselves look more creative and bring more to their show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's great. It's beautiful. And that's just what I want to see here. Because I want to see, the next Bootleg Kev over here, or the next, Lush, and, whatever else. We have to have, the ones that we don't want to mention either.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we have to have those. But, yeah, man, it's just going to be about building. And we have to start off with our own people, too. We have to build up ourselves. Because if we allow someone else from the outside to come over here and set up shop and then charge us to come work with them or have them do what we're doing with them, it's like, dude,
Yeah.
like that's going to be our fault
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
Yeah. There's definitely more traction that's building out here as time progresses, especially
Right.
as people are more moving. Dude, like I'm about to have a guy in here that's literally trying to start, or in the process of creating a major soccer league within the county. Like, dude, like there's people in here that are
Sheesh.
growing,
Yeah,
So
for sure.
what I'm trying to say is that, a lot of people before the time to be successful, or where opportunities was going to Hollywood, or you had to get connected out there in LA, because
Right.
that's where it's at. But I think, and I may be wrong in the future, but I predict that as these local brands are, like smaller platforms like mine, and some of the
Right.
podcasts you can, or maybe they are big now, right, are going to start occupying attention to the point where it's like it's hard to ignore them. Like for example, I talk about this because I'm in marketing, right? Media and television and radios, not that their attention has gone away,
Right.
but some of those attentions has pivoted towards something else. Companies nowadays are paying influencers or paying brands because they have more attention.
Right.
You know, at the end of the day, it's the attention at the end of the game. You know.
Yeah, no, it really is, man. And that's the thing. Social media has came in so
Yeah,
clutch with just
yeah.
marketing and, being able to brand yourself and promoting the stuff.
Absolutely.
And being able to do the things yourself, too.
Yeah, yeah. That's the other part too. That's why I'm so passionate about this platform too, is because I want people to know that there is something out there that you can do now compared to back then, right? Like we couldn't, bro. Like 15 years ago, if we did shit like this, we would like who are you,
Dude, it'd be
You know?
crickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On top of that, you would just look crazy.
Yeah, no, not only that, you would look like, oh, you're trying to have your own talk show,
Yeah.
like like you're
Yeah.
Jimmy Fallon.
It's funny because I kind of wish I was those people, because like look at like people like Joe Rogan, right? Like if you look at where he started, right, it was literally like, oh, who's this guy starting something in his garage, you know?
Right.
But like for creators, artists, like where the fuck you're at, it's like if you just start and you start building on top of that, you don't know where you'll take yourself. You
Right,
know?
just lay the first
Yeah,
brick. Lay
exactly.
the first brick, man, brick per brick. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta have patience. You gotta have a strong mindset.
Yeah, you gotta be
You know what I mean?
accountable, keep building.
Yeah,
you know?
accountable. You know what I mean? And you gotta just pick yourself up every time you fall.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So, all right, bro. Well, let's talk a little about what's gonna happen on Media Day. I do wanna. I told I told Anthony that I want to have something out there as well for A+. I'm not sure. It depends on my assets. So I'm saying this ahead now that I may be doing interviews. So for any creators
y'all hear
out there,
that? Yeah, that's a blessing.
I'd love to, because
That's a
like there's a new section that we've launched with my host Chanel. So we're doing a series called Voice Locals. So if there's any events out there that are
Beautiful.
any people with events that want coverage, we want to promote.
Yes.
Right. So as far as this end, we make it about the people, we make it about the topic, we make it about the event. So on top of that, A+ will also be there. So I'll represent my partner.
A+,
So we're gonna,
baby, we're gonna be right there.
A+ branding, we're gonna offer some special discounts for any local artist, especially if you want some promotional stuff, stickers,
Tap
banners,
in, high
small
quality,
shirts.
guys. High quality. I
So-
know y'all see my post,
Yeah.
that story post when I post those stickers, man. You can't get that nowhere else.
Yeah. So we'll make sure that we have something out there for you guys as well.
That's
So
beautiful.
stay
I
tuned.
appreciate you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for anybody who is going to tune, can you talk a little about what they can expect for this upcoming Media Day and where's that? Give us a little bit of details. Anthony.
Yeah. So this media mixer, it came actually came after 805 Media Day,
Okay.
because the response from everybody after, like, besides like just how happy they were, and like like helping people with anxiety and all these different topics that people were really like having mental blocks to even talk to people. Media Day helped heal a lot of those people, and it helped them come out more. It helped them with social anxiety. It helped them with even depression. Some of these guys hit me up like, bro, coming out today, it really like helped my depression. Yo, coming out that day, it really helped with social anxiety.
Nice.
Yo, like all this stuff. So I'm like, so a lot of people are like, we need more. It can't just be once a year.
That's good.
I'm like, you're right. I'm like, I know you're right. But
Yeah.
like, what is like the next, like, what can we do? So I'm in this group chat. I'm going to add you. And it's with a lot of the media platforms that we have now. And, we just kind of like throw ideas, brainstorm. Not everybody like responds, but a lot of people just observe and watch, because I tell everybody too, I'm going to add you to group chat just so you can see what's going on, because I'm always used to DMing every single person to let them know, yo, this is what's going on. Like I've been DMing you all the updates.
Yeah.
And that's just what I do with everybody too, because I want everybody to know what's going on. So, we're like, okay, let's do something that's quarterly, maybe, 3 events, because the 4th event will be Media Day, 2nd annual, 3rd annual, 4th, and then all the way to 100 years, right? And so we're like, okay, let's do mini Media Days, but without everybody doing interviews, because that's the thing. On Media Day, it's the biggest productive day in history in 805, so it's like, the platforms didn't get a chance to talk. They didn't get a chance to network. They're busy conducting interviews. So on Media Mixer is when everyone's going to be able to talk, socialize, network, grab a drink, or get something to eat.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna have these at local, grill, bar and grills.
So where's the first one gonna be
So
at?
the first one's gonna be in Oxnard, December 1st at Bottom Pint
There
at
we
the
go.
Collection in the Annex Hall.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys at the annex.
We'll see you guys there, man. Yeah, hosted by the Real Quick Though
Okay.
podcast. You know what I mean? Because I also felt it was important that each media platform hosts one of these media mixers.
Love that.
You know what I'm saying? That way it's like, yo, he's hosting the one in Oxnard. This person's hosting one in Thousand Oaks. This one's hosting the one in San Luis Obispo, and so forth. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a media person in each county. So it's like, let's make them the host. That way they could host it. If they want to do interviews, they could do it, whatever. And if anybody else wants to do interview, like it's open to do interviews if you want to bring your equipment. But at the end of the day, I want everybody to...
I'll just bring this mic, bro.
Exactly. That's all you need, man. But at the end of the day, I just want everybody to mix and mingle. And, you know what I mean? Contact everybody. Network with everybody. And, you know what I mean? Just be sure to make future appointments.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying? Be like, yeah, I want to get you on the show. Cool.
What else you got going on there? Any local businesses or any
We're inviting
vendors?
everybody.
Okay.
That's the thing. Like, we're inviting everybody. We're inviting the media platforms, the artists, the local businesses, the promoters, the entrepreneurs. It's for everybody, for sure.
All right, everybody, you're invited. If you're listening to
Yeah.
this, you are invited.
Everybody and anybody.
Let's get it. I'm looking forward to it. And what times?
So we're doing 3 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay, cool. So
Yes,
that's
sir.
enough time. Cool. I love bottle and pint as well. IPAs.
Gee, there we go. I'm
Sit
buying
down.
your first one.
There we go. Alrighty, cool, man. Well, I appreciate you for sharing your upcoming event. All right. So as far as, with what you're building right now, what are some things that you're, excited about, that you're looking forward to?
Well, for the label, for the music part, I'm really excited about these artists that we're working with. Shout out to J-Log, Mike Easy, and Chico G, because, they came around us at the perfect time, and they came with music that we're just like, whoa, this is great music. And because, they have good heads on their shoulders, you know what I mean? And the talks that we have with these artists, our artists, it's real, spiritual, innovating, and we talk a lot about the mind, the intuition, the heart, goals, accomplishments, just setting forth for the future, and things that we need to, check ourselves sometimes, and just a lot of great talks like that. We don't have, bullshit talks. You know what I mean? We have real talks that are going to elevate each one of us and sharpen each one of us. You know what I mean? So I feel that's why my team is strong right now, and I feel like once we start rolling out this music, people are going to realize damn, they really been together every single day or something. They've really been planning this, because we kind of have we set up a studio in the garage about a month ago, and since then we've been working 8 hours a day.
Nice.
Because some of them have day jobs, so it's they come over after work, put in another 8 hours.
Wow.
And we just got
shit.
music, man. You know what I'm saying? And
that's how it be.
so now that the music's done and recorded, we're putting it together to make EPs for each of them. Chico's going to have his EP, 2 songs. J-Lock's going to have his EP, 5 songs. Mike Easy's going to have his 6. And we're going to release them on different months, because I'm going to do rollouts for each of them. And so I'm really excited
a
for
whole
that.
campaign, bro.
Yeah, bro. Definitely a presidential campaign.
Yeah, I
You know
love
what
that.
I'm
I love
saying?
that. I think a lot of artists that I meet around here I don't know. It's kind of hard to see their plan. I mean, maybe I don't hear enough in the back end, but
Right.
I do notice a lot of dropout and inconsistency within artists.
Right. I mean,
so-
yeah, and that's the thing, that's why I told my team, let's do something different. You know what I mean? I have this plan, let's do it. I mean, there's no better way to do it right now, and to obviously show everybody around here that what we've been saying and talking about is working and is happening right now. Personally, I'm really excited for the music part. For the other part, for just the 805 in general, the media mixers that are happening, the doors that are opening with the local businesses, you know what I mean? Especially after we had that one meeting together, man, it blew my mind, you know what I'm saying? And it's funny because, in a way, I kind of felt like I was gonna start meshing in that type of area, but it took you to really lay out that vision, because then I was
There is, bro. Look. Let me just give you some perspective, right? There are breweries right now that are paying vendors or people who host events just so that they could get foot traffic.
Right.
So what you're building right now, bro, and I'm saying this right now because before it starts to blow up, right? You're gonna build a crazy amount of foot traffic that businesses will want to work with you, and it would be you might even honestly need to come up with a different type of event
Right, yeah,
to
for
put people
real.
together. You know, I mean, you had this gift, I would say, to put people together through your promoting, and now you're essentially back in the same way, but this
Right.
time, you're trying to not only help your business, but you're trying to help everybody else. You know,
Yeah.
because it makes sense. You have a goal that connects with you. You know, just like how this podcast has allowed me to connect with people that helps me with my business.
Right.
You know, that puts me in the right direction, and it has, and it continuously has. So you having this platform, and I tell this to everybody. Join as much platforms as you can. Be a part of it. Collaborate. Add value, because once you start collaborating and being a part of other people's communities, like you may never know who that person that will get you to the next level is.
Yeah, right.
know?
And you just don't know the type of information you're gonna meet from a person like I got from Charles, and just put me on a I'm not gonna say it put me on a different path. It widened the path, bro. It just widened the whole opportunities and everything. I'm just like, like, yo, it's about to be a whole storm coming.
Yeah, I have people who put me like that too, and I thought I'm going one direction, and all of a sudden, well, you can also do this. I'm like, oh,
right, because
yeah,
because in a way you're like you're on the right track.
Yeah.
You are, but add this
and
yes, exactly. That was the part. It's like, and I'm like, oh my god, dude.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited for that, man.
Yeah,
but
dude.
yeah, man, I do have one closing question to kind of wrap this up before we get people connected to you. If you had a word of advice to your younger self, I guess even before you started doing the tours, what would your self now tell that person?
I would definitely tell myself, keep going. Keep believing what you believe in. Because what you believe in, it works. And it's going to happen for you. No matter the consistency and commitment you put, the sacrifices, everything, no matter the people that are going to come along your path and try to throw you off it and destroy you and smash you to the ground. Stay strong, young man. Stay strong and just know you're going to make it through. Because now look where you're at. Now look where you're at. You're here right now. And I'm proud of you. I am very proud of you. And I'm happy. And if I really could go back, I'd definitely give myself a hug. And I would just tell myself, man, you made it. And your mind's free.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to end up getting your mind free. You're going to end up being so confident in life and just being a whole new man and having this rebirth. And just know that is coming, and everything else doesn't matter.
Respect. Love that. I think our inner self, our inner child is definitely the people who we need to speak to sometimes, especially if you're trying to heal, or if you're just trying to, like at the time, a lot of us were lost and we didn't know,
It gets hard, you know what I mean? Like, because my wife has told me too. She's like, like you need to go talk to your inner self real quick. And I've done it a few times, man. I get so emotional because I just know all the hurt that kid went through. You know what I mean? Like the high hopes and then just.
Can we actually give a little shout out to wifey? Just, it seems like she's been a good support.
Man.
How has she helped you out?
She has really helped me out by sharpening my mind and just, really making me. I don't know. I feel like she came with a lot of wisdom. Like she was really.
She's very spiritual.
Yes, heaven sent to me. You know what I mean? Like, just God put her in my life because she was really meant to be there. And how I could explain it, like it could be written in a book, like a self-help book type thing, because she was really like about my mental, about my spiritual, about being, believing in who I am and just knowing that these people and anybody else, it doesn't matter. You are who you are, and you stay true to yourself and always stay true to yourself and remember who you are. You know what I mean? And like just everything that I went through, she was there for me and just helped me like free my mind and free the bars off my mind and just, be able to be myself in this world now. Honestly, man, I wouldn't have had that rebirth or that rising phoenix moment. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for her.
That's good, man. I'm glad you found a foundation, a support system through your fiancée.
Yeah, and my kids have it now too. We have a great, foundation and structure with our family
Love that.
and our kids, you know what I mean? And our kids' minds are free now. So it's like we're just all really connected with each other. And, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, we're just the greatest ball of energy.
That's awesome, bro. I love to hear that. Cool, man. Thanks again for sharing that. But for anybody that's tuning in, can we get some link, or where can people find you if they want to connect with you?
Yeah, as of right now, you can hit me up on Instagram, rarebreed805. The YouTube is Prominent Ones. Working on a podcast. I am going to have a platform soon. I'm going to have a podcast because, I appreciate you guys sharing your platform with me. It's really helped me, get people to know who I am. And not only that, express myself for therapy reasons and also to leave something behind, my legacy for my children. Because that way later in life, like they realize like, oh, that's why dad was busy, or that's why, certain
I think the
things.
same way about documentation too.
Yeah, man. So, for now, rarebreed805 on Instagram. My DMs are open. Hit me up, whatever it is, whatever we can collab with, whatever it is that we could trade work or how I could do to help your business out. Just let me know, because I'm pretty much, I'll give it to myself, man. I'm a staple in the community now. You know what I mean? A lot of people see me and they see my worth, and I bring value to every business and every person that I come across. And I just want to make sure that I fulfill each one of ours worth. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So hit me up, rarebreed805, and stay tuned to the podcast coming soon.
Cool. Awesome, guys. You heard it here. All right. Thanks for joining us here in the podcast, Anthony.
Thank you, Charles. I really appreciate you, man. Again, it's an honor, man. I'm really glad I got to make it here on Voice, baby.
Let's go. All right. For anybody tuning in, thanks for checking us out. Hope you guys learned a lot as well, and maybe took a few nuggets from his experience. We'll see you guys on the next episode.
Peace out.
Hey, Voice community, thank you so much for being a supporter of this platform. Our goal is to establish a platform where we can represent voices that empower others to be more, do more, and have more. We advocate for a message to voicing what matters. Through our platform, we dedicate our content through the voices of creators, leaders, communities, and organizations. We vocalize messages and stories representing aligning values through many people's stories. We want to provide content for others who feel like they have no voice or don't feel like they have a direction, feel lost, or need guidance. And through others' voices, we believe that everyone is deserving to pursue a lifestyle that they get to create. We appreciate any support you give to keep our platform growing. If you find value in the content we put out, you can subscribe to our channel or follow us on the podcast platform you're listening to. It really does go a long way, so we appreciate every help you can give us. Thanks again for supporting our platform. We hope to see you guys on the next episode.